Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Angus from Stryd, and I'm live streaming from the Stryd headquarters here in Boulder, Colorado. And today we're talking about A to Z racing with Stryd. So I'm gonna be walking you through how to discover your potential using the Stryd Race Power Calculator, planning your race, building that structured workout to help you guide that race effort on the Stryd Power Center, and then sending that to your sports watch, whether that's a Garmin watch, Coros watch, or Apple Watch, to help execute with precision. And we're helping you get ready, whether you're running the Boston Marathon, the London Marathon, or any other race this spring, helping you get ready so you can run that race to the best of your ability with the help of Stryd's power-based guidance here. So let's jump into it here. We are going to be talking about A to Z racing, and the topics, as I just laid out. First, we're going to be talking about that race planning, how to use that race power calculator on the Stryd Power Center, the Stryd mobile app, giving you an example of my own race data. Uh, and if you don't have the Stryd membership, we're going to be talking about the race calculations table, which is available for all users in the Stryd mobile app. The second step there is creating that structured race workout, and we're going to be building one on the Stryd Power Center. And then third, sending that to your compatible watch for real-time guidance during the race. So first, race planning with the Stryd Race Power Calculator here. So this is a tool I know a lot of you are familiar with. If you're not familiar with it, this is part of the Stryd membership. It's available on the Stryd Power Center and on the Stryd mobile app here. Here's a screenshot. So what this does is that it analyzes your power duration curve, looking at your unique capability, looking at how you output power, how that extends from every distance from mile up to a marathon or even longer. And looking at factors such as your elevation, your temperature you'd commonly train in, and the humidity to recommend that target power. You can input that race course and then understand how your capability translates to an estimated finishing time on that race course in those conditions. So we have a number of verified courses in the Race Power Calculator. You can see some of the most popular world majors here: Berlin, Boston, Chicago, and a number of others. Of course, if your course is not listed here, you can also just grab a fit file. You can even do this from Strava or another platform. Find someone else who's run the race before. If you've run the race before, download that activity file and then upload it to the Race Power Calculator to add in your own personal course. Next thing you can do right before that event comes around. So, Boston is less than 1 week away now. We're looking at those weather forecasts for the big day, and you can input the temperature and humidity you expect to see on race day, and then bringing in those additional factors can really help dial in that power target, make sure you're running with precision for the race day. And then if you don't have the Stryd membership, you can use the Stryd race calculations table. This is in the mobile app there. If you just scroll to the bottom of the summary tab, that opening tab there in the Stryd mobile app, you get an idea of, on a flat course and common training conditions, what kind of time you can expect to run, and then what power you should be aiming for. So for example, in this screenshot, if I was, the race calculations table uses my conditions over the last 90 days. So let's say I'm commonly training in cool conditions and on a flat course. I would target 222 watts, and my estimated finishing time would be in that time range. So that's something important to keep in mind there, is that the race calculations table does kind of assume your standard training conditions. So if you're running in relatively hot or more hot or more favorable conditions, you'll have to adjust that power target and then that time accordingly. And that also goes along with the race course and other factors. So let's take a look at what this looks like for my data here. So I'm going to be jumping into my Stryd Power Center. And once I'm in the Stryd Power Center, I can go to the race calculator on the left-hand side there. And I am training for marathon. I already have my personal race course uploaded. I'm going to grab the Grandma's Marathon course, which is in June in Duluth, Minnesota. So I've run this course before, and I can just upload that activity here, and then I can see how that course plays out in terms of elevation, and also in terms of elevation for that course profile there. So by default here, since I do a lot of indoor training, my elevation is actually not really representative of my current training conditions. So I do train at altitude at roughly above 5,000 feet. Since I do so much indoor running, the train at conditions is a bit lower. So this is a bit distorted. So this target power is not really going to be the perfect for me. I actually am going to make some tweaks here. I know that I'm actually going to be targeting more around a 95%, 94 to 95% of critical power here. So I'm going to jump this wattage up to around 429. And this is kind of the beauty of the race power calculator. Even if the default calculation isn't perfect for you, you can kind of make those small tweaks to get a better idea of your capabilities and what you're going to be running there. So since I know I need to make a change, I can just plug in a different number and get a new estimated finishing time. So I'm going to be plus or minus 4 minutes on kind of an estimated finishing time of 2:42. My goal is to kind of run under that 240 range for this next race. So this kind of falls in line with my expectations. My fitness is probably going to improve even closer to race day. But for today, I'm going to be looking at kind of building a race plan around this 429 watt number here, and understanding that my finishing time is probably around this 2 hour and 40-minute mark. So that's just a quick demo of how you can use that race power calculator. And of course, once again, if you don't have the Stryd membership, you can just open the Stryd mobile app and get a pretty good sense of your power target there as well. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to building your race with the Stryd workout builder. So very recently, we've introduced the Stryd workout builder to the Stryd Power Center. This really offers a leg up over building the workout in the Stryd mobile app because, for example, let's say I want to build a more complex workout and I don't feel comfortable using my phone for that. I can now easily do that on the Stryd Power Center there. So this, the workout you build can be, kind of as simple or as complex as you're looking for here. So we've given a screenshot here, a very simple workout, just kind of running around the 89 to 93% of your critical power for a 26.2 mile race here. Just a single repeat, just give me a simple name. And this can be the simplest workout you build for kind of that work day, race day guidance. But we can also make it more complex here. So I'm also going to jump into an example here of kind of building a workout for myself for my race day here. So I'm going to jump back into my Stryd Power Center account. So of course, this opens up on the runner summary tab, but if I want to build a workout, I can just go into the calendar tab here. Let's say I was hypothetically racing this Sunday. I can just tap this plus button here. And once again, this is a feature of the Stryd membership. So if you don't have the Stryd membership, of course, you can also build this workout for free on Final Search and just send it to your account. But if you do have that Stryd membership, you can just do that directly in the Stryd mobile app here. So I'm going to be creating a workout, and I'm going to call this the Grandma's Marathon. And I'm going to be looking for a race workout type. And I'm going to give it a simple description, just say building a structured workout to guide my race day. So for this, if I wanted to build a very simple workout, as I just showcased here, I would just go in here and grab a distance-based workout and put in 26.2 miles. And once again, I know my target's going to be around that 429 watts, which is around 94 to 95% of my critical power. So I can just put in 92% here and a 97% on the high end. And we can see I already have my structured workout here. So I could save this and I could have this sent to my watch here, and I'd be right in the middle of that 429 watt range. And I'll talk about a little more about how this would be sent to your watch, but later. But you can see I can just build a very simple workout in just a few quick steps here. Let's say I want to make this workout a little more complex and kind of fit my race a little bit better. So as I'm preparing for marathon and racing, I kind of actually like to think about this race more in terms of a duration rather than a distance. So I know I'm preparing for roughly kind of that 2 hour and 40-minute race. And how I kind of break that down in terms of fueling is I know I'm going to be fueling roughly every 30 minutes. So If I want to kind of structure my race where I can kind of take it easy in that first 30 minutes and kind of build on that power target in subsequent 30-minute blocks, I could kind of build the race like this, where I'm going to build kind of four 30-minute segments and then kind of a longer segment at the end there that allows me to kind of finish that last block in however long it takes me here. So say I want to build out four 30-minute segments with an extra block at the end here for roughly 45 minutes to give myself a little more flexibility here. So let's say I want to ease into that race target. So I'm going to be just kind of capping myself at that 432 watts for that first 30-minute segment. And I'm going to be putting in a little more aggressive power target for those middle three segments here. So I'm going to be bumping this up to around 98% of the critical power at maximum. I know if I exceed that, if I get anywhere near critical power, I'm going to exhaust myself very quickly. And for that final block, I want to give myself a little more flexibility in case I just can't maintain the power target. I'm probably not going to be pushing quite as hard those last 45 minutes there. So I'm going to be dropping this down a little, maybe around that 96% target again here. So if I want to kind of customize my workout a bit for my race day and kind of what I know works for myself, I could kind of break this into kind of a duration-based workout and kind of give myself the ability to ramp up in that middle kind of hour and a half of the race here. I could save that. Let's take another approach to this. Let's say I want kind of more frequent alerts and I kind of want mile by mile alerts for my race day. I could build kind of a workout with 26 repeats in here. So let me actually put in 27 repeats, set the distance at 1 mile here. And you can see I could do this in terms of miles or kilometers. So if I wanted to put in 42 or 43 kilometer repeats, I could do that as well. And once again, I can kind of give myself a bit of a range here I can stay within. So I'm not receiving constant alerts if I start fatiguing towards the end of the race and my power drops a little lower. So here I could build basically kind of a workout where I'm getting alerts on a mile by mile basis instead of every 30 minutes. So you can see there's a lot of different ways to kind of build your workout here. You kind of have to do what best suits you. So this gives you a lot of flexibility. You can build a very simple workout. You can build workouts with different repeats. Let's say I wanted, less frequent repeats. I built this 30-minute workout, but I could also do that in terms of miles where I'm getting alerted every 5 miles, every 4 miles. So once again, you kind of build to your preference here. So now that I've planned my race, now I need to take the final step here and send this race to my watch. So we have excellent compatibility with Garmin watches, Coros watches, and Apple watches. And even if you own a different watch model, such as a Polar watch or a Suunto watch, you can kind of use the workout builder on those platforms to kind of build your power-based workout as well. We're going to specifically cover these three because of our excellent integration with these watches. But even if you don't have a compatible watch, as I said, you have other great options you can pursue as well. So once I built that structured workout on my Stryd account, this will send to my Garmin account. And once it's on my Garmin account, it'll be available on my watch. And I can execute this workout with the Stryd Zones data field. So I know some of you are still using the Stryd workout app, but if you do have a modern Garmin watch that is compatible with Stryd Zones data field, we recommend upgrading to the Stryd Zones data field. And as you can see here in these screenshots, you get a sense of the workout structure. So for example, this is just showcasing an everyday workout, kind of a half marathon power tempo. But in the case of my race workout, this would show up here as my race workout. And then as I'm executing that, I'm either getting that kind of duration-based countdown or that distance-based countdown with a visual zone target bar. So I can just glance at my watch and make sure I'm staying within my proper power target. Then customize a few other metrics, whether that's pace, heart rate, or overall duration or distance to kind of help guide my race effort as well. And this Stride Zone's data field does provide both haptic and tone-based alerts. So I can either enable or disable those if I do want kind of that tone or haptic-based alert as I'm running to help me stay in the power target. If you're not a big one for alerts, as I said, you can disable those and just kind of get that visual guidance on the watch. The Stryd app for Apple Watch does offer the premium running experience, and that workout we built on the Stryd account will transfer directly to the compatible watch. And you get a very similar experience here where you have that visual zone bar. You can also set up those audio, vibration, and tone based alerts, and also those customizable metric displays. So the Stryd app for Apple Watch does give you incredible customizable options to help guide your race day as well. And finally, very similar to our Garmin integration, you can connect your Coros account to Stryd, and we'll send that structured workout directly to your Coros account, and that'll be available on your Coros watch for kind of that guided execution as well. So if you want the premium racing experience with Stryd, we do recommend to upgrade to that Stryd membership to have access to that race power calculator, which allows you to bring in that extra degree of precision. Of course, if you don't have the Stryd membership, you still get a great experience. But if you want to take that next step, the Stryd membership is there for you. And you can do that on the Stryd mobile app and also on the Stryd Power Center. We are taking questions. So if you have any questions on planning your perfect race, drop those in the chat and I'll help answer those on stream here. We will be at the London Marathon Expo. So all of our European striders, anyone who's traveling to the London Marathon, British striders, we can't wait to see you. We're going to be there at the London Marathon Expo. I'll be there along with 2 other Stryd team members. So come see us at booth D94. We'll be there every day of the expo, all day. So come by at any time. We're going to have the race power posters. We'll be doing race plan if you do want help with any of these steps. We'll be getting, your product feedback, talking with you and, hopefully showcasing some exciting things to come. So we'd love to see you there. So come by and see the Stryd team at the London Marathon Expo. Once again, booth D94. And if you want more details on that, I encourage you to go to our Stryd community on Facebook or our Reddit forum or check out any of our social media channels. And we do a little sign up form there if you do want reminders that we're going to be at the event. So you can input your email address at one of those sign up forms and we'll send you more information as well. But if you don't fill out the form, you can just come see us at the event as well. If you're looking for future content on Stryd, we recommend to subscribe to the Stryd YouTube channel for more. So go to Stryd on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to take it to the next level, be updated on all of our feature releases, all of our live streams, we recommend to turn on notifications. So you can tap that subscribed icon and then kind of turn notifications to all or personalize if you do want notifications for future live streams. So let's see if we have any questions. I don't believe we've had any questions yet today. If you do have any questions, you can drop those in the chat here and I'll answer those on stream. So before we close out here, I just want to kind of recap the overall presentation one more time, because this can make a big difference between, having your perfect race day and then, those small mistakes that can lead to, race day disasters. So we build all these tools because it helps you, discover your potential, accounting for factors such as the race course, the temperature, humidity, and other factors. So there's no surprises. You're not going to get surprised by, oh, there was more climbing than I expected, or this race took longer because there were so many hills, or, it was hotter than I expected. Since we factor in all those things, you get a really good idea of how long your race is going to take and what kind of power you should be outputting on the day of the race. The Stryd Workout Builder helps you plan that race with precision, allowing you to build simple race plans or even more complex race plans. So you can fit kind of your preference for that race day experience. And then the real-time guidance on your Coros, Garmin, or Apple Watch can make a big difference in making sure you actually stick to the race plan on a second-by-second basis on every climb, on every descent. So When you bring this entire experience together, it really offers that complete A to Z racing with Stryd so you can have your best race day. So we do have a question here. I'm going to drop this in the chat here so everyone can see the question. So we have a question from Willem. It says, how come I don't hear alerts when listening to music with AirPods? Great question, Willem. So one of the things to check there is if you're running with your phone and you're also running your Apple Watch, sometimes those AirPods can connect directly with the phone, and the Stryd app can only play alerts via the Apple Watch. So if you don't hear those audio alerts, make sure your AirPods are connected directly to your Apple Watch. And when you do that, then the alert from the Stryd app will go directly to the AirPods and you'll be able to hear those. So if you have further questions on that, feel free to send in a customer support chat at stryd.com. Just tap on the blue widget and we can help more. But that's the most common problem that we see is that if the AirPod is connected to the phone, it doesn't allow the Stryd app on Apple Watch to send those alerts directly to the AirPods. All right. We thank everyone for tuning in today. Hope to see some at the London Marathon. And for anyone who's running Boston, of course, good luck. And we want to hear your success stories. So you have a great success this spring, whether it's a marathon or a different race distance. Make sure you share those on the Stryd community or tag us on Instagram. And we'd love to share those out and celebrate your success. I hope everyone has a great day and good luck at your next race. Thank you.